Imagine a community plagued with economic challenges, with no place for members to seek spiritual guidance or refuge, no place for God's people to meet and tabernacle with Him. Church in Action takes us to Southeast St. Anne. We are now in the Claremont district of Seventh-day Adventist Church, which was once a part of the Central Jamaica Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. During the early 80s, the pastoral district of Claremont had 13 congregations, but there were a number of communities that were without an Adventist church. One such community was Woodstock. The small farming community of Woodstock once had an Adventist church, but it was closed for more than a decade. Looking at the structure today, one can hardly tell that the building was vandalized, leaving only roof and walls, and that the community was branded a violent, drugs-riddled community. As a result, previous pastors were afraid to enter. In October 1984, the Claremont Seventh-day Adventist Church, under the leadership of Pastor Donald Kent, ventured into the Woodstock community and conducted an evangelistic series in the old edifice. 9 persons surrendered their lives to the Lord during that series, and in subsequent years, new members were added to the church. One of those persons was Pastor Neville Barrett.
On April 12, 1984, I surrendered my life to the Lord, right in this church here at Woodstock, at the hands of Pastor Donald Kent. It was a wonderful experience for me as a youngster. Now, shortly after that, the church grew and was organized into a company. As a result of that, the district was now 14 congregations instead of 13. And I want you to know that in all of my years as a Seventh-day Adventist and now a pastor, I've never seen the likes of such a man of God, Pastor Kent. Every other week you would see him, he would come and greet us and share the word of God with us. And note carefully, he had 14 congregations. That at the time includes the Money Church as well as the Claremont Church was the mother church. So it was a very wide district. The terrain was wide and there was a lot of bad roads, of course, but he was very committed to his church and the membership that he served, because not only that we were experiencing him every 2 weeks, but other congregations were experiencing his visits and his motivational speech and sermon, etc. as well. That's the pastor I'm talking about. He always, in his promotion, encouraging us, brethren, be faithful. Be faithful. Jesus is coming soon. Encourage us to be faithful in our walk with God. And he encouraged us to be faithful in our stewardship. And yes, he was big on stewardship. He motivated us and he encouraged us to be faithful to God. As the Lord blesses us, we must give back to him, a portion that belongs to him. He motivated us and encouraged us to invest to the extent that as members of the church, we decided to come together and invest our time in a project. So a member gave us a plot of land up the road there, and we organized ourselves and we planted cabbage and we reap it, and it helped to build this structure that you see now. So he was a dedicated man of God. He was a family man. He was always here with his wife, Kent, and of course his daughter Karen and Donovan and Kevin. They were always together. And he was an example of a leader and a father and a family man. We respected him. There's something I always admire about Pastor Kent, and his family. They were a musical family. Pastor Kent would sing, and his dear wife would play, and his daughter Corinne would sing. I can remember two of the songs that they used to sing. Pastor Kent used to sing this song. Mama Sungula, Tantalu, Tantalu, Tantalu. Mama Sungula, Tantalu. Come to Jesus, come to Jesus, come to Jesus just now, just now, just now. Come to Jesus just now. That song has been etched in my mind as a youngster, young teenager. I've never forgotten it.
The re-establishment of this church gave hope to the community and its young people. Today, this church has produced graduates from Northern Caribbean University, the University of the West Indies, the University of Technology, and other colleges and universities, both locally and abroad, the likes of which includes biologists, nurses, teachers, police, IT managers, business experts, and ministers of religion.
The seeds were planted by Pastor Kent. So in a few years they started to bloom, they blossom, and with strength, the church grew from strength to strength. And we had somewhere within almost 50 members passing through here. A lot of them have been in and out. Some have migrated, but they still keep in contact with the church today. Pastor Kent's legacy is still here right at Woodstock today.
Today, where I sit after 35 years in the Seventh-day Adventist Church is a result of one man who decided to dismiss the stigma attached to a community, enter that community, and gave hope to men and women. Today, I live in that hope. And so on behalf of the members of the Woodstock Seventh-day Adventist Church and the members of the community, I pay tribute to Pastor Donald Kent in his ministry to us in that community.
If you've ever asked the question, what's the purpose of the church in the community? I hope that today you've gotten your answer. It is about community transformation. And today's example of visionary leadership in the face of adversity will stand a testament for all time.